Hey Internet, Eric here. Animated April continues. What that is every month on this channel, I have a specific theme for the movies I'm discussing. Animated April is obviously animated movies or movies that deal with animation in any way, whether it's stop motion, the whole movie is animated, or like tonight's movie, we have a mixture of 2D animation, 3D CGI animation, claymation, all that stuff, plus live action. Today, I am discussing Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This came out in 2022, making her return to the channel. The last time she was here, um, I think it was the Super Mario Brothers. What was it called?
Like the rescue, like Princess Peach or whatever.
Something to do with Mario rescuing Princess Peach. It was that wacky, weird ass Japanese cartoon. I got the Boo with me. The basic plot of this is, and Boo, you can correct me, is it's as if all the Disney movies and cartoons and all that stuff were movies themselves. We are following the actual actors, Chip and Dale. We get to see how they met. They had a falling out, and now they come back together because their co-star from Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, Monterey Jack, has been kidnapped, and they find out he is now going to be bootlegged. So they team up with their number one fan, who happens to work on the police force, and they do their best to try to rescue Monterey Jack and stop this incredible bootleg conspiracy that is being run by a Coca-Cola bear, a CGI Warcraft Seth Rogen, and a very, very angry and adult Peter Pan. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anything you want to specifically talk about first, Boo, concerning. First off, what do you think? Here, let me start this off. I asked you before, you had no idea what Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers was.
Yeah.
The only thing you ever knew about Chip and Dale was the cartoon they did where they're in the Christmas tree and they're making Pluto miserable and getting him in trouble.
Yeah.
You initially didn't want to watch this movie, did you?
No.
And what did you think overall after now? Well, this is probably your third time watching it. What did you think after the first time you watched it?
Like I thought it was like an actually like a fun movie. Like it was. Sorry.
Yeah, we're both fighting colds. Go ahead.
It was like fun and stuff.
What are some of the fun things that you really liked?
Like I liked how like it was like humans and like cartoons live together,
Mm-hmm.
and like it has a mixture of all types of animation.
Yes, like Chip and Dale. Well, Chip is still 2D animation.
Yeah, Dale got a CGI surgery.
Yes, Dale is completely 3D CGI because kind of like how, when adults get older, they want to look better, and they get plastic surgery. Dale actually got CGI 3D surgery. So it is cool seeing a 2D cartoon character work together with a CGI character, and then the way they interact with humans. There's a scene where they're actually interacting with a Muppet, like a puppet type of thing. Um, what did you think of Chip?
I like them both equally.
Okay.
Like,
What did good and bad about Chip? Anything good or bad about Chip himself?
I don't think so.
Okay. I liked Chip because he after Rescue Rangers was canceled because they Chip and Dale had a falling out because
Didn't Dale get his own show, Double O Dale?
yes, so he was going to be like a James Dale was going to be like a James Bond character, and that caused Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers to be canceled. And Dale is now basically going from job to job, working at Comic Cons and stuff like that.
Yeah, and he sells like insurance.
Yeah, Chip is now selling insurance, going home, and feeding his dog. That's all he does.
He has a human-sized dog too.
Yeah. Um, he was fun. Dale is good at being goofy and silly, but he's not crazy over the top goofy and dumb. Like he's dumb, but he's not like super dumb like he is in the cartoons, like you saw with Pluto.
Yeah.
What did you think about Dale himself?
Same thing. I don't. Yeah.
Same thing. Okay. What else I like is I actually really liked the actress who played the police officer.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember her name?
Yeah, Ellie.
Ellie. And she helps them investigate what's going on with the bootlegging. She helps them because she is the number one fan. She what was it? She had all her grandma recorded them all and
She videotaped them and send them to her.
um one of the best parts, in my opinion, of the show or of the movie is when you get to see all the different bootlegs.
Oh yes, oh yes.
So what happens is Peter Pan now it's a tragic backstory. We find out that Peter Pan was a child actor. He was famous because of the old Peter Pan cartoon, but once he got older, Disney didn't want him anymore. So he grew a beard, he got fat, he got angry, so he wanted to make his own cartoons.
Oh, I have this let down.
Yeah, hold on. He wanted to make his own, basically his own version of Disney, but with cheap knockoffs, bootlegs. So instead of Beauty and the Beast, we had
Beauty and the Cursed Dog Man.
Beauty and the Cursed Dog Man. Instead of Casper the Friendly Ghost, we had
Jasper the Dead Ghost Kid.
And then what was the Little Mermaid one?
The Small Fish Lady.
The Small Fish Lady. Because what's great is we get to see all these characters. Like there is a scene where we see Flounder from the Little Mermaid. He's kidnapped. He's turned into this dumb-looking flounder, and he is thrown into, what is it again?
The Small Fish Lady.
Yep. And what happens is, even like we said, Monterey Jack, he is bootlegged, and he's given Dumbo ears, and he is now starring in
Stupido the Elephant Baby.
Stupido the Elephant Baby. So that's what I really like about this cartoon, is just all the creativity with how goofy the bootlegs are. I liked, what else did I like? I actually liked how mean and evil Peter Pan was. What did they call him?
Sweet Pete.
He's now called Sweet Pete. He's got a full beard, like he hasn't shaved in like 3 weeks. He's grumbly, and his sidekicks are the Coca-Cola Bear, but we couldn't call him the Coca-Cola Bear because they obviously didn't have the trademark, and a bad CGI Seth Rogen, like I think he's a dwarf from like World of Warcraft. So, and I really liked how Seth Rogen's character is really, really dumb. And I really liked the Coca-Cola Bear. His CGI was really good. What did you think of the Coca-Cola Bear?
I think it was cool, yeah.
Okay. Any specific scenes that you really, really enjoyed that stand out in the movie?
One scene that I thought was cool was like when all the Seth Rogen characters, like, were all together, like they're all voiced by the same guy, kind of thing.
Do you want to explain what's going on in that specific scene?
Yeah. So
they're at a Comic-Con. This is the end of the movie. The bad guys are chasing Chip and Dale at a Comic-Con. Go ahead.
So, Sweet Pete manages to track Dale because he has a social media account.
Yep.
And he gets to see like the background of all of his posts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees that he's at a Comic-Con, and so he follows Dale to the Comic-Con. So he's running around, and you can see all these cartoon characters from different Disney franchises, and the Seth Rogen dude.
We'll call him the World of Warcraft. He's the dwarf. You can call him the dwarf.
The dwarf guy. He gets lost or something. I don't know.
He's chasing. He's chasing Chip. Like on the pipes in the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
And then Chip ties because Chip gets a costume change, and instead of just wearing his white button-up shirt, he goes into an Indiana Jones merchandise stand, and he's got his hat and his vest, which is exactly what he wore from Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, so fans are going crazy. And
so what happens when they're up top on the pipes?
Like a stampede over people or stuff. I can't remember.
Okay, so he takes a cord, which looks like the Indiana Jones whip, and he wraps it around the feet of the dwarf.
Oh yeah, and it trips him.
And he falls, and he crash lands through a table, and then Seth Rogen, like I said, who does the voice of the dwarf, he is met up by
Pumbaa.
The live action Pumbaa.
Like the slime guy. I don't know where he's from.
Aliens versus Monsters, I think.
And then the cricket.
Yeah. So Seth Rogen voices the dwarf who's looking up at Pumbaa, who is making fun of Seth Rogen, and then there's like a grasshopper or a cricket thing that's making fun of the dwarf, voiced by Seth Rogen, and then you have the blob, voiced by Seth Rogen, who's making fun of the dwarf of Seth Rogen. I really liked a lot of the cameos that are in this movie.
Yeah.
Like in the very beginning, when we are seeing Chip and Dale getting famous because of their TV show, they're partying at Disney. We have Roger Rabbit. We have the Three Little Pigs from Disney. We have a bunch of people in the background, but what's really cool is a lot of the cameos at the Comic Cons, which were not just the Seth Rogen characters. What other characters do you remember specifically?
There's Baloo.
Yeah.
Ugly Sonic.
We're gonna get to Ugly Sonic in a second. Do you remember anything else? Because Ugly Sonic has a bigger role than just being there.
Yeah, I know, but he's also there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The My Little Ponies from Friendship is Magic.
Yeah.
He-Man and Skeletor are there. It's a lot of fun seeing all this. You see some mice dressed as Princess Leia and Darth Plague. No, not that. Whoever the new Darth Vader character is. So it's lots of things you got to pay attention here and there. Like when Sweet Pete is chasing them, he picks up one of the Lost Boys, the fat Lost Boy from the actual cartoon.
Yeah, he thinks he's Chip because he's wearing a costume.
Right. I also really liked the claymation police chief. Do you remember what his name was?
His name was hold on, let me, Officer Putty.
Officer Putty, of course. Voiced by J.K. Simmons. Boo, you only know him as J. Jonah Jameson from Ultimate Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. But he is, again, he's just so quick-witted and just throwing out one-liners, and he's really good. He's always getting stuff stuck to his back because he's made of putty. One of my favorite scenes involving Detective Putty is when he's fighting the cop. What was her name again?
Ellie.
Okay, what did you think of the animation where she's actually, because we find out that Putty is actually working with Sweet Pete, and I love this scene where they're asking why. He's like, "Oh, my mom needed an operation, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Nah, I'm just kidding. I just wanted the money." And he got into a really good one-on-one fight with Ellie. What did you think about the different animation and how that fight went?
I liked how they had the claymation mixed with live action. Mm-hmm. Like he was able to wrap around her and stuff.
And he could turn his hands into weapons, he turned his one clay hand into a brick and punched her and stuff like that. And Boo didn't get the reference, but she takes a fire extinguisher and freezes him as he's walking. So he freezes the T-1000 in Terminator 2. That was a lot of fun. What else? What other fun scenes were there? You got anything else written down that you want to talk about? Anything specific? That's okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, what about the final fight? The final fight with what happens to Sweet Pete.
Oh yeah, okay, so Sweet Pete captures Chip. Mm-hmm. And so Chip and Dale are separated. Mm-hmm. So Ellie tries to give Dale a clue by listing off an episode.
Right.
And, Dale goes all over trying to figure out what the heck this even means, right? Mm-hmm. And so he figures out that Dale and Ellie are going to get, Dale's going to get bootlegged and Ellie's tied up, held hostage.
Right, Chip is. Because there was a really cool scene where they actually break into the lab, and there's this really cool laser sequence where they're helping each other jump over the laser so they don't get zapped. And Chip does get zapped, and one of his ears turns into a
Snoopy ear.
A Snoopy ear. So what happens is, with Ellie tied to the chair and Chip getting ready to get bootlegged, Dale figures out the clue completely wrong. But
he still manages to, he still manages to get it right, sort of right.
Because he figures out where they're being held captive.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I like this part, he meets Gadget, again, voiced by the same actress, and then we get to meet Zipper, the fly who never talked, and you thought it was really funny that Zipper actually had, one of the deepest voices, since we never heard him talk on the show. And they get their little helicopter or blimp thing worked, and they put Dale on a rocket, and they shoot him in through the window
Yeah.
to save them from the bootleg machine.
Oh
But
yeah, and he crashes into the machine, which causes it to malfunction.
Mhm.
So like the machine blows up and it hits Pete.
it's Sweet Pete.
Yeah, and it turns all of his limbs. Like he gets like a Woody leg, a
Yeah.
Transformer leg, and like a cat head.
Yeah, his face turns into Fat Cat, who was the main villain from Rescue Rangers. A Woody leg, as in like Woody from Toy Story. Transformer leg. His body is still green, like the Peter Pan. He has some like a weird rocket launcher on one arm, and the other arm was
Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph. And that's a fun sequence because we get to meet more bootlegs. I'm just going to call him Fat Cat Pete, because that's what he was.
Mm-hmm.
He's chasing Chip and Dale, and they find out that they're in the area where all the bootlegs are being made. So they end up on the stage of what would be Winnie the Pooh, but instead it's called
Pooch the Fat Honey Bear.
Pooch the Fat Honey Bear. They end up going to this weird bootleg of The Simpsons, where instead of "I caramba," he says like "I chimichanga" or something weird like that. And then they go to the bootleg of Aladdin, and Aladdin is being played by
Like Pete.
Pete from Goof
so
Troop.
I was confused at the first beginning part
Yeah.
because I thought Sweet Pete would actually be that Pete.
I did too, especially since they just called him Sweet Pete. I figured that too. But you have Pete, Goofy Pete, dressed up like Aladdin or Prince Ali, flying on a magic carpet with strings and everything. That was fun. Is there anything in this movie that you didn't like? Or you found boring or stupid or you didn't care for?
Not really.
Okay. The only thing I didn't really like, and it's very small, is there is a scene where Chip and Dale have to go into disguise and they have to go into a Russian bathhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sweet Pete has a thing that tracks how many steps he does every day.
Yeah, so they can track him and see where he's been.
Right, so they can track to see where he's been, and they think that's where they can find where he's making all these bootlegs. And Dale knows how to do it because he has the same thing, but he likes to make his little walkway.
Like a shape of a butt or something.
Yeah, the shape of a butt. The only thing I don't like is that sequence where they meet the snake, who is like a DJ, and they actually, it's a fun callback because there's a scene in the very beginning where Chip is watching
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they're rapping, and he's mad that they always make the animals rap. I don't like, even though it's a fun callback because they now have to rap, I don't really like the scene where Chip and Dale are rapping to the snake. I think, even though it's on purpose, the rap sucks. I'm just like, oof, we could turn that part off.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So other than that, I think, honestly, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is a lot of fun. It's fun for me who grew up with the characters. I wasn't too big on Disney Afternoon when it came to Chip and Dale's Rescue Ranger. I watched Chip and Dale's. I think I watched it just because maybe it was leading into Darkwing Duck, who is also in this movie as a cameo. Let's talk about Ugly Sonic.
Oh, okay, Ugly Sonic.
Let's explain Ugly Sonic. So when they're at the Comic-Con, because Boo's a big Sonic fan. She loves the 3 movies. She really enjoys the video games. When they're at the Comic-Con, like I said, they meet all the Disney characters. They meet, Lumiere, the candelabra from Beauty and the Beast is there. Live action Baloo, we mentioned him. And then there is Ugly Sonic. Now, do you know the backstory of Ugly Sonic?
Okay, so, like, the original version of Sonic was gonna be, whatever the heck that is.
Yeah.
And they got so much backlash over it, they just had to change it.
Mm-hmm. So, Ugly Sonic is now is a character, and they go to Ugly Sonic for help. And he says, hey, can you help us really, really fast? He's like, no, that's the real Sonic who goes fast. Ugly Sonic, I work slow. And there's a lot of jokes that the internet really hated Ugly Sonic's teeth. So what happens in Chip and Dale concerning his teeth?
It just like zooms in slowly on his mouth, and they're just like,
And then what's great is Ugly Sonic helps saves the day. He brings the FBI in to help stop Sweet Pete, Fat Cat, whatever the heck we're calling him. we notice, what does he shoot out of his bazooka
like this
arm?
weird like cannonball with like a bullet bill face.
So it looks like a bootleg bullet bill. So that was cool. Like I was saying, I really enjoy Chippendale Rescue Rangers. From someone who grew up during the Disney afternoon with the gummy bears, there's a gummy bear in the ending credits. I do like how they made a joke how they're going to reboot because they're talking about at the very end. Everybody's reunited, everybody's happy. Even Monty with the Dumbo ears. They're gonna reboot Rescue Rangers, and they're saying what all we need now is like a rebooted. What do they say about the theme song?
Like they said, I hope it's not like sung by a famous pop singer and ruins the whole thing.
And it's sung like in a pop version way by Post Malone. It's a lot of in jokes that are really funny. If you grew up with the Disney afternoon, I recommend it. My daughter had no idea what the Disney afternoon was. That was like 20 years before she was born. No idea what a gummy bear is or a lot of all
Gummies bears are, they're delicious.
the cartoon goof. She had no idea what a lot of these characters were, other than say you knew who He-Man and Skeletor were.
Yeah.
You knew Ugly Sonic. You knew My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. So when like that stampede happens and they ride the ponies to safety.
Yeah.
You knew that. You knew the Coca-Cola bear. Mm-hmm. So there are enough because Boo's going to be 13 in a few days. So someone her age can still somewhat pick up those type of references. Someone my age can pick up all the references. Smart comedy, fantastic animation, lots of fun, lots of goofy stuff, especially with the bootlegs. I love the bootlegs. I highly, highly recommend this. Anything else you want to say about the movie or recommendations about it, Boo?
No, I don't think so.
All right, well, there you go. She has spoken. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Click the bell. Tell me what you think. Have you seen this movie? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Got some more things planned with the Boo coming up. We've already agreed we are going to do Super Mario Brothers movie, The Hobbit from 1977. That'll happen, and An American Tail.
Okay.
So those are three more that the Boo's going to be with. After this, I'm going to do Shark Tale per request of my friend Patrick, and whatever else I got time for. But you'll at least hear the Boo 3 more times, hopefully. She's better from her cold. I'm better from mine. But you know what? This was still a fun time. So thank you for doing this with me, Boo. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, here, how about this? This is your second movie review with me. Is this better than Mario saving Princess Peach?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Cheers.